This is the 2024 Honda Odyssey Touring. Is it the most versatile minivan you can buy? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda to give you the details to answer that question. If you want to know more about this particular Odyssey or anything else they have here in inventory at Holmes Honda, check out the link down in the description of the video. This model has an exterior color of lunar silver, but it does not have a black interior. It's actually a mocha interior. Just so you can see that for yourself, there's what we have where that is concerned. And so let's dig in a little bit deeper here and find out how versatile this minivan really is. And we'll start here on the front end with a load of LED lighting. Basically everywhere you look, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and down there on the lower portion of the bumper, the LED fog lights. Now, for those of you who might say, hey Tom, how do I make my lights flicker like that? Well, you look through the lens of my GoPro. That's how you make that happen. So it's not actually happening is the point there. That has to do with my camera. You can't really make your lights do that. And how about safety features? Well, obviously you have all the different airbags and different things like that. You have the sensors for parking and a lot of other features as well. Honda Sensing is here. That's adaptive cruise control, road departure mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, lane departure. It's all here. And with the side view mirrors, the body colored mirror caps, you can have your turn signals built in, your turn signal indicators built in. They are manually folding, power adjustable, they're heated, and you will also find that you have, while it's not built into the side view mirrors here, it's actually built inside of this area in the interior. You do have your blind spot monitoring. And a quick look, in fact, we'll turn around and take advantage of the sun. There is the remote for 2024. No changes where that's concerned, but you still have the features such as being able to open your power sliding side doors, your power lift gate in the rear, remote start. It is a proximity key with the walk-away feature. The right side here and the left side doors do have the power open and power close features, so they'll open that way, no problem. And we have, finishing things off just like we did on the front end, back here we also have LED tail lights. And while there are no changes for 2024, there's still a lot going on here that you might want to know about. And one of those things you likely want to know about has to do with what powers this Odyssey. In this case, there's only one engine option. It's the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter VTEC V6 from Honda. It makes 280 horsepower, 262 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This minivan comes standard in front-wheel drive. Now, I know a lot of you would like to see all-wheel drive available. Maybe we'll see that in the future. Honda sure has the technology for that. Maybe when the Odyssey is redesigned, that will be taken care of. Tire and wheel size, we're looking at 235 on the width, a 55 series sidewall wrapped around the 19-inch wheels. And how about MPGs? Went in a different order this time for those of you who watch me regularly, so I fooled you, didn't I? 19 city, 28 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And if you're curious, this capless fuel fill leads to a 19.5 gallon gas tank. When it comes to towing, 3,500 pounds is max towing here, and that's because this is front-wheel drive. If it was rear-wheel drive, it would be higher. If it was all-wheel drive, it would be higher, but that is the case. But the real versatility comes when we start to look into the interior. 32.8 to 140.7 to 144.9 cubic feet. And as you can see, you can lower these seats right here, but that's not all. There's actually a lot more that we can do. One thing is that you can remove this middle row seat. In fact, you can remove all 3 seats in the middle row right there. I did a back and bicep workout today, so I'm absolutely worn out, not removing those, but I will try to put an image in for you to see what that looks like when everything is removed. That's a good thing. Now, one thing I do want to tell you is that when it comes to removing the middle row seats, you see everything that's on the floor underneath that you anchor the seats to. Some people have asked me if that's removable. It isn't meant to be removable. I guess you could remove it, but that would not make the floor completely flat, so really no point in doing so. And in the rear area back here in the cargo area, you'll also find the 12-volt power outlet. You'll find storage space on each side, little cubbies right here that will help out. And this area down here where you're going to stow the stowing magic seats is a great multitasker. When the seats are in their upright position, the good news is that you can use this area down here to store, well, whatever will fit, whatever's needed. So that's a good thing. Putting the seats down is as easy as simply pulling that release. Now, a little bit easier to do with two hands available instead of just one. I find myself kind of having some challenges with this when it comes to doing it one-handed, but it can be done, as you can see. That makes things very simplistic. And putting the seats back up, well, let's see here. It's easy to do, again, two-handed instead of one-handed, but you can see if I can do it one-handed, it's very easy to do with both hands. And you know what? I can just leave the license plate bracket right there. There's one advantage to that area for us. Put that back in place. And the good news is that obviously you can fold these seats flat, the seat backs down flat, and you could actually do the same with the middle row seats right there and take advantage of space back here when you don't need to have everything as flat as possible with the floor back here. So a lot of good opportunity going on where that is concerned. Let me put this back in place. And one more thing I wanted to show you, depending on where you're parking or what your situation is, maybe you need the rear door to be a little bit lower. That is so simple to deal with. All you have to do is pull it down. You can see right here it says hold to set height. Listen for the beeps. And you're good to go. So next time I open this rear door, it's going to open up to that area where I just set it, or to that particular height where I just set it. And it's obviously just as easy to change the height again, depending on what you need. And one good thing here for your third row passengers, we already know that you can use this minivan in a couple of different ways. Number one, you can take the seats out, you can lower the rear seats, you can use this as a delivery van, you can use it as a work van. There's a lot of advantages there. Obviously a family hauler as well. And so for the third row passengers, you can see that the left side seat is moved all the way forward. I don't know how realistic that is, but it could be done. Now, here's what we can do right here. Let's go ahead and pull that release. That's how we get into the rear seating area, the third row of seating. And I'll pull the seat back and you can see the difference. And even like this, I have quite a bit of leg space. And let's see here, I'll turn the camera around. It's a little windy today, so my hair is a bit of a mess. Quite a bit of head space too. I'm sitting straight up at 5'10", but now keep in mind, you can move the outboard seats. You can't move the middle seat up. If it's in place, that's where it's going to be. So obviously this seat back does come up as well. But look at the difference in leg room here. Now, I don't know how realistic it is to have this seat or either one of these seats this far forward. Somebody with very short legs would have to be up there if someone's sitting there, but it is an option. And let's move back over here. Cup holders. We'll also find the privacy shades that can be put in place right there. And we also have another power outlet right here. Obviously headphones and air conditioning vents. And those headphones will come in handy. Let's see if we can give you a good view of this. Now, I don't have it on right now, but you can see the entertainment packages here. So the kids and even the teenagers, even the adults, can watch videos and movies. Let's not mix those two words together now. Videos and movies, not voovies. Boy, that's a strange one. Well, I'll hear about that in the comments, but it's okay to laugh at me and not with me on that one. But you can see what's here. So a lot of great opportunity where that's concerned for those long road trips. Yet another capability of this Odyssey. And a multitude of ways to close these sliding side doors, the power side doors. That's one way to do it. This release will do the same thing right here, or handle. Obviously, you have the privacy shades just like we did with those rear windows. And right here, we can hit the button to open the power side windows here. They don't go all the way down, but you can see where they do come down to. And rear seat pockets providing a little more storage, and there are some door bins as well. See if we can give you a good view of that. Cup holders built into the rear of the center console, in addition to connectivity options, quite a few, and air conditioning vents that are going to be located right down here, as you can see. And there is a third zone of climate control. We have tri-zone climate, dual in the front, single in the rear. Here's where you control all of that. So quite a bit going on. And when the driver wants to exercise that 280 horsepower, there is the, oh crap, handle. One at every door. Well, the rear seat passengers don't have one, so they'll just have to grab onto the seat backs or something. Believe it or not, this minivan will actually chirp the tires from a standing stop when you take off if you floor it. Not that I recommend doing that, but it can. And for those who are saying, okay, Tom, I really like what I'm seeing so far. The Honda Odyssey is definitely versatile. What's the price? $46,475. Now keep in mind, if you're saying, yeah, I don't know if I really want to pay that much. Everything I'm showing you here for the most part, as far as the ultimate versatility goes, is available on every trim level of the Odyssey. So let's see what else you get here. The comfortable armrest, which I didn't really talk about that with these sliding side doors, but it's basically the same. You have plenty of room there. In fact, again, the upper and the lower door bins. Power seats for the driver and the passenger. And then we'll take a look at what we have as far as storage space goes. Number one, we have the glove box here. Quite a bit of space within. The hangers right here for the bags or the ladies' purses, whatever anybody wants to hang on there that will hang can fit there. And then you can see there's quite a bit more going on here as far as connectivity goes. The pass-through right here obviously offers a lot of versatility, quite a bit of extra space, and then we'll also find the drawer right here. There is literally space for everything within this Odyssey. The cup holders, and we'll also find space within this area and more connectivity. And it does come with the headphones as well. And one thing I didn't mention earlier, obviously you're going to have the front sunroof right here. Now, if Honda redesigns everything for 2025 with the Odyssey, which I think they will, you probably will find a second sunroof in the rear area back here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to have the entertainment system that's right here. And you'll also find right here the conversation mirror that doubles as a sunglass holder, or is it a sunglass holder that doubles as a conversation mirror? I don't know. You tell me. You can see what else is available. All the joking aside, if you made it to this point in the video, you might as well laugh. You can see what's on the upper console. Here on the driver's side door panel, well, you're going to have a few additions as you would expect compared to what we saw on the passenger side in the way of adjustments for your side view mirrors, all of the windows. And one thing you don't find on the passenger side is right here. Two different settings for seat memory for the driver's side, where that really is a lot more important, obviously. And right here on the dash area, we're going to find the controls for those power sliding side doors to open and close from the driver's seat. I think you pretty much know what else is here. Here's your power parking brake. If you need to open the hood, there's the release for that. The release right here will let you change the positioning of your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And when it comes to the instrument cluster or driver's display, as you can see right there, you've got your traffic sign recognition, your digital speedometer. Pretty simple to figure out what's there. And you do have paddle shifters here in case you want to feel sporty in your Odyssey and shift your way back and forth with the shifter paddles through that 10-speed automatic transmission. And here, a multitasker. Why? Because you can control the headlights and taillights, the fog lights, and you can make it do that too. And some of you are probably looking at your screen right now like a dog hearing a new sound and saying, wait a minute, I've never seen that before. What is that? It's the turn signal lever. I know, it's confusing. If you're wondering what that is, I actually have a tutorial on how that works. And it might be a big surprise, but that is available on every single vehicle. In fact, it comes standard, just like windshield wipers do. But you always use your windshield wipers, don't you? Just not always use your blinkers. But here's the control that you will use all the time because you use your front and, if equipped, rear window wipers. So there you go. You have all of that. Yes, it's okay to laugh. Make it to this point in the video, you should. And for those who maybe have skipped around in the video and you're saying, wait a minute, Tom, what is that flickering effect about? Something's wrong. No, it actually has to do with my camera. So it's not really happening, just in case you're wondering. But a very simple infotainment screen here. It does have built-in navigation, and so you can see what's there. A very simple system to use. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Also here, So a lot going on. In fact, there's a couple of extra things here. In fact, you have cabin watch. You might have noticed that little camera on the entertainment system that was there. Well, that's what you see. You can actually take a look at what's going on in the back seat area, just not when you're driving down the road if you're the driver. So that's just a good bit of information to help you out there. Stay safe when you're on the road. And then your multi-view rear view camera. 3 different views where that is concerned, so just you can see what's there. Our dual zone climate control is here, which I do actually need to turn that down because it's getting rather warm in here. And we also have our heated seats, heated only, but you do have that if you're wanting to turn off the auto stop or idle stop system. There's where you do that. And a couple of different driving modes here. You can go into snow mode if you want to, econ mode, and obviously drive. And then if you push that one more time, you go into S. That is sport mode. Some people will talk about all-wheel drive models being sequential mode, but it's the same thing. So whether you say sport or sequential, doesn't really matter. It does the same thing. That's the way it goes. Now, one thing I like to know about is the push button shifter here. When the Odyssey is redesigned, what would you like to see? Do you want to see something other than the push button shifter right here? Tell me what your thoughts are. Okay, you wanted a test drive, so let's take a test drive. What is it like to drive the Odyssey? Well, I can tell you what my experience is just based on me being in the vehicle by myself. It would be interesting to see what it's like to drive this Odyssey with a full load of passengers, maybe a bunch of cargo back there, just to see how this Odyssey handles when using it as maybe a delivery van or some kind of a work van. And the interesting thing about the work van opportunity that this Odyssey presents is that, well, you could actually outfit that area back there, although you'd have to do it yourself and kind of MacGyver it in, so to speak. Some of you might be so young you're saying, who? Just Google it, you'll figure it out. But anyway, you could put in some shelves and, well, whatever you need to make this van work for you in so many different ways. But it would be interesting to see what it's like to drive with something more than just my 175 pounds in it. I think it would be okay. I mean, it's not as if this minivan is meant to be a hot rod. Even if you go with the Odyssey Sport, it's still not a hot rod. Can you imagine an Odyssey Type R? Boy, would that be interesting. No, I am not dropping any hints of any future plans from Honda. That would be very interesting to have an Odyssey Type R. I just cannot imagine what that would be like. But it's not going to happen, that's for sure. But as far as getting up and going down the road, well, the Odyssey does do a really good job of getting up and going down the road for a fairly large vehicle. So when you need to get up and go, it will. Like I said earlier, even though I'm not going to show it in today's video, I do know from experience that you can actually get this minivan to chirp the tires taking off from a dead stop if you drop the hammer all the way to the floor. It's front-wheel drive, and so that makes it even more interesting that it can do that. But one way or another, an enjoyable vehicle to drive. On the practical end of things, I know people like to know, well, what does it drive? How does it drive? How does it get down the road when you need to get up to speed? Well, I've given you that information. What about the overall comfort level? Well, in my personal opinion, I think it's fine. It seems to be comfortable based on the roads that I've driven it on. The seats themselves, definitely comfortable. The armrests here, well, it would be nice to have maybe a larger console that sits up a little bit higher, although the armrests do seem to do a good job, but I feel like my arms are a little wide maybe for that. At least my forearms are. But again, that's where you need to get in these vehicles and drive them for yourselves and test everything out for yourselves, because you might say, you know what, Tom, I think those armrests are perfect. You don't need a console that sits higher. That works for me. That's really important to get in here and drive these vehicles yourself. So that's why I feel like these test drives are not the best part of these videos, because I can only pass on along my information based on my experiences, and yours might be different. So you can take it for what it's worth. The one thing I can definitively say across the board is that the technology here is very easy to, number one, learn if you haven't ever had anything like this before, and to, number two, use once you learn it. And I know a lot of people out there are going to say, and I've even talked to people who said this until they started driving their vehicle and using the technology. I'll never use all of that. Well, once you learn it and start using it, I think you'll change your mind on that. At least here with the Hondas, that's one good thing about every Honda model that I've ever reviewed so far is the fact that, well, it's very easy to deal with where all of the technology is concerned. There's not a steep learning curve. That's good and easy to see out of. But like I said earlier, you've got your blind spot monitoring, although it's built into this area right here. I didn't show that earlier in the video, but I told you that it's there. It's not built into the side view mirrors. If we get a next generation Odyssey, and I'm pretty sure we will, I think you'll see that. Now let me expound on what I just said. I know there's a lot of rumors going around, people saying, oh, the Odyssey is going to be discontinued. Well, I talked to somebody who is most certainly in the know where that is concerned. And the only reason that rumor is around, from what this person told me, is because, well, Honda has been totally quiet about the future plans of the Odyssey. Therefore, it has created a lot of rumors that are saying, well, I guess that means it's going to be discontinued. We'll see. Keep an eye out over the next few months. Now, I am shooting this video on December 27th of 2023. I would imagine by February or March of 2024, we will likely know something. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, for those of you who are saying, you know what, I think I want a 2024 Odyssey. Well, now you pretty much know what you're going to find if this is something you plan to buy. So tell me what you think about the 2024 Honda Odyssey Touring. Is it the most versatile minivan you can buy? Tell me what your thoughts are. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Odyssey for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch and giving me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button. That does help me out quite a bit. And if you haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so you don't miss any future videos. Tell me what vehicles you would like to see me feature here in future videos, and I'll do everything I can to make that happen for you. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.